Hey guys, Alex Raykin here, and today I'll be reviewing the NUX B-8 guitar wireless system, and I'll tell you why this thing is a lot more than a wireless system and why you need it in your rig. Stay tuned.
Alright, so this is what the box looks like. Nicely wrapped. Very nice. Very nice. Alright, so let's take the top off here. And here is what's inside. Alright, so this little box has a USB cable, power adapter, and a TRS cable. This is the adapter, this is the USB cable, USB-C. This is a Velcro strap actually for mounting. And this one is a TRS cable to connect to the transmitter. I like the shiny letters on these boxes. This one has the transmitter. And this box right here has the receiver, which is also a tuner and a boost. It's also a DI box. This thing is really cool. This is what it looks like on the front. Only 3 buttons on the front, then you have an output and an input on the side there. You have a DI out, ground lift, USB-C, power adapter, and also input and output on the other side. This thing is very flexible and you can use it in many setups, as you'll see. So this is what the actual transmitter looks like. It's very cool. It has those little metal pins at the top that you can actually use for wireless charging by just putting it on the receiver. Alternatively, you can just plug in USB-C and charge that way. So this is how you connect the transmitter to the receiver. It just clicks right on. Boom. Simple. It's charging. If the battery is above 75%, the light is green. If it's from 75% to 50%, it's orange. And if it's from 50% to 15%, it's red. Under 15%, it starts blinking red. Turning on and connecting the unit is super simple. You just hold down the power button and watch it connect. And there it is. Alright, so check this out. I'm going to connect the TRS cable and screw it in. This keeps it nice and tight so it doesn't disconnect by accident. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. So I'm just basically going to hold this power button down right here. And there it is, fully connected. So as you see, when I touch this cable, the signal pops up. There's also a mute switch. So let me hold it down right here and you see mute, doesn't go through. There's also a switch here called cable tone, which emulates the warm tone of a cable, which is basically emulating some signal loss to get the tone you're basically used to without a wireless system. Alright, I'll go through the menus briefly. In display, we just have some basic things such as display brightness and languages, and we could set up a boot up image, all that kind of stuff. So in this next menu, we can actually check out the transmitting latency. So we can set it to low latency, which is, you have your guitar signal going fast, or we can set that to stable. And that would basically set it to be, if you're competing with lots of other people who are using wireless, then that would be something you would set it to. And you can kind of do it in the middle. You could experiment with that. Then we have the tuner section. And over here in the tuner, we have actually a chromatic tuner. We have a strobe tuner, and we have a guitar-specific tuner, so it's cool, you get to choose. So I'm going to show you the tuner in action right now, so I'm going to press this right here. This is the chromatic tuner, so I'll hit a string on my guitar. Alright, so this is the chromatic tuner, for example. Alright, so moving on to the next menu here, switch. You can actually control whether holding down the pedal basically activates the tuner or the boost, versus just pressing it. So if I hold down the pedal here, boom, the boost goes on. Alright, so heading back to the settings here, the next one is just volume, and then the last one here is boost. And we basically set the boost level here by just turning the knob in the middle to set it to what we want. Alright, so there are many ways to use this. In this example, you have the guitar going through the transmitter into the receiver, and then coming out to the amplifier through one output, and the other output going to a mixer with a DI signal. And here in application 2, it's all the same, except you're also going out through one of the sends and returns through an entire pedal board or a single pedal. And also keep in mind that the B8 acts as a tuner, so you can get that out of your rig, and also as a boost, so it's glorious. great tool. Alright, over here I'm just at a band rehearsal using this as a simple wireless system going into my quad cortex. I'm in the other room just fooling around. And here's the transmitter on my strap. So recently I got to use this live at a gig, and you see I'm walking across the stage and people walk right onto where my cable would have been, so kind of saves me there. So I'm live here with the Lost Professors, and later in the show I'm like running over here to the violinist to jam with him, and not thinking about the cable in the way. It's quite awesome. So with firmware version 2.0.1, the B-8 actually introduces this intelligent frequency hopping system that scans the 2.4 gigahertz environment and automatically switches to a clean channel with like no dropouts or clicks. So it worked really well and didn't interfere with anyone else's wireless on stage. So thanks to the 50 meters of stable transmission, I was able to make it far into the aisles and actually hear my guitar from the audience perspective during sound check. It was really cool.
All right, I'm genuinely impressed by this unit. I'm impressed by the build quality, by the customization, by the amount of different connecting options that you have, and the fact that this is not just a wireless, it'll basically replace your tuner and with a really good one, and have a boost so you can replace those two things as well. So I think the price tag is quite justified here. All right guys, so let me know what you think of this in the comments. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one.